that button.
You want to press the button.
Don't blame that on me.
The person was asked to press the button. Don't blame her.
No, because y'all sit here for 20 minutes too and look at it and it wasn't brand new. I said nothing.
I thought it was recorded.
Stories Name Niggas Part 2.
Years old. No, it's 7.2.
Episode 7, take 2. So how long was that movie, yo? 20 minutes.
That was a good bit. Yo, y'all missed a lot. We was funny. It was popping. Like all that.
Did somebody did push the button?
We had a feel good story. This is not my podcast.
Somebody did push the button.
So we got a group text.
Make sure you're speaking to the mic.
And you named the group text.
Who did?
I didn't know it.
You said I was one of the bros now. So
you didn't name it. I'm one of the bros.
I thought that was you who named it. You can't self-include yourself, yo.
Dr. Akbar.
okay, I will leave right now.
You good. You
gotta
can't
come
self-include
back.
yourself, though, bro.
She was reluctant to come back.
That is not true.
She was like,
Mook was yelling at me all day long. Actually, like more than just
pissed.
today.
I was pissed. I wouldn't know. Only thing we yelled about. The only other thing we argued about was you and the choices shit. We should talk about that.
We argued about other stuff.
so
Black
we had a
women
group
have more
text.
choices.
We had an offline group text going on about public school choice versus charter school, kinda versus private school, even though men don't want to include private schools. So.
We can include private school, but that wasn't a conversation.
So
the conversation was Philly school district versus everybody. You was like Philly versus everybody. That's literally what you was talking about. Like you had a big ass fucking shirt that said Philly versus everybody, and you said Philadelphia in high schools pales in comparison. These are fucking quotes. Pales in comparison to every other district.
And then you called us elitists.
And I said y'all elitists because why I say that though?
I don't know.
Because this boy said what you want me to say. You want to say your word?
No. So I said it was what 3 schools.
He said it was 3 quality high schools in the city of Philadelphia.
Now that was
elitist.
That was an offside.
That was a tongue-in-cheek
right. That was an
statement.
offline,
Exactly.
or exaggerated statement.
Elitist.
He didn't have like data
to speak to the lack of quality in high schools.
Elitist.
So we came up with a number, right?
I said it's about 12 to 15. I said off the top of my head I can name about 12 to 15 that I would say are good quality high schools.
Based on?
Well, that was off the top of my head. And then when I did do
data
for
that.
Yeah, I then found supporting data and found
he found
test scores and
graphs.
he said like 22 graphs.
Going off.
Where'd you find them graphs?
He found them fast.
Made them.
I went on a cell phone. Like I was like that. Like this boy got real.
I came back. It was 22 graphs in the chat.
To open back up.
It was like Exhibit A, B, C, D.
No, it was numbered. It was 1 through 16.
He definitely numbered them.
Exhibit 1 through 16.
He wrote the numbers on the screenshots. I lied to you.
I did write the numbers. Listen.
I'm like, wait, when did this turn into? Like
the point was
forensics.
Hold on, that's not the point though. That's not the point. Whether I went too far or not, that's not the point. All right.
At least you can admit that.
It's possible. It's possible I could have went too far. No, I wasn't upset. I was cool going too far. I was upset when y'all changed the fucking parameters of our conversation.
We never changed it. We never operationalized it from the first place.
Because y'all were being subjective. No one said me.
The great debate.
No one ever said, "Yo, to me, these are the best schools." It was a simple statement about public school in Philadelphia and public schools in other county areas. And my only point was, generally speaking, if you look at the education continuum, paradigm, whatever you would call it, they look at test scores. So I use that as one metric just to show you that there are a significant number of Philadelphia public schools, high school only, that are outperforming suburban public school in our area.
And what we said was...
Oh, this is what he said. Well, that ain't what I go by. I'm black.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant. What does that even mean?
He said, I'm black. I don't look at test scores.
I said for the metric for... a metric that I look at as a black person, not just test scores.
No, that's not what you said. I can read the text.
Right.
You said,
He
said test scores, I'm black. He said test scores, I'm black.
Right.
Yeah. But then I said
test score.
Environment. inclusion,
and what I
diversity,
said was, and to be clear,
proximity.
I predicated my statement, my whole charts and exhibits. I predicated by stating,
like, Your Honor.
I said,
Objection.
this is not the only. This is not the.
What is GTD, Tommy?
Yo, I predicated with saying this is not the only basis for education, but this is one of the ones that is generally accepted by the community. So what I'm showing
You didn't say that commonly.
I did say that.
Not that
I
commonly.
mean, no, I said in big caps.
And
I said, I do not believe.
A muck typing all caps.
15 minutes cap.
And cursing.
Yo, bottom line.
And calling us niggas.
All you had to say for I did call you niggas. I was like, F y'all. But all you had to say from the beginning is I'm just being facetious, but I think the schools are better in other places.
We weren't being facetious, but we weren't clear about the metric.
No, you were being subjective.
And no, we were not.
Yes,
just because we picked different metrics than you doesn't mean we were being subjective.
Shown there are schools in the suburbs who are not. The word you're being used was pale in comparison.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, in at least test scores wise, there's a number of schools in our immediate area of Philadelphia that are not performing as well as public and which includes charter high schools in Philadelphia. So my only point was you can't say they pale in comparison. You can say you don't want to send them to. That's fine. You can say I would rather, but the whole point was.
So he said he took pales as in comparison, meaning academics.
That's one of academic. It could be even resources.
Top 5 high schools.
Where
in Philly.
I mean, you're just looking at academics only.
Just whatever you think the top 5 high schools.
If I would send my kid, if I would send my kid to a school in Philadelphia,
Exhibit 1 through 5,
assuming that they were interested. If they're not interested in arts and performing arts, I wouldn't send them to Kappa. But if there were arts, I would put Kappa in the top 5. If they're not, I'm not sending them to Kappa.
Okay.
Outside of Kappa, assuming they're not into that, I would honestly have to say Central, Masterman, ENS,
SLA.
I don't. Me personally, no. I think Northeast Magnet is very good, and I would probably lean to one of the charters. I've seen Franklin Town is pretty good. Mass is actually pretty good. Palumbo is pretty. Palumbo, it would be between the fifth one, between one of those, like a Palumbo, Mass, depending on that. But one thing I would say, I might not do Central because I'm an anti-Central because I'm a Northeast grad, but. And I also.
You didn't even graduate.
I did.
I know he doesn't know. He don't know his number.
It is 256 though.
It's 2.5 and almost.
2.5.
Listen, I don't go to the reunion. Like I go to the after party.
I met with some Central students this week.
So. But I might not put. I probably wouldn't. I will pick between Central and Master. I wouldn't put both of them. If I had to pick a list, I won't put both, just because I think they're the same.
They're literally.
I feel as though they're the same. Actually, the only thing different, I think Central has a better. More
social.
well-rounded, no, not social, athletic program. Mm-hmm. Like they have more offer. They offer more programs than Masterman. But I'm just saying, me personally, I just anti-Central, so I would probably tell them pick one. But those are my top 5. But what I'm saying is all 5 of those schools, I would say can compete and do better than most of our suburban schools. And the only one I found that was immediate, again, everybody listens to immediate. I'm talking about right in Montgomery. I'm not talking about all the way out King of Prussia. I'm not talking about way past Radnor and shit like that. I'm talking right immediate. Only one that really was like better was Lower Merion. Go figure. How many people can live in Lower Merion?
By test scores.
By test scores, yes.
Okay.
That's all.
So it's more than 3. That's what I said.
All right.
It's more than 3.
I agree.
12 to 15.
It's more than so
it's more than 10?
You said 12 to 15, right?
I said 12. You already know what I said 12. I said 12. 15, okay. I think would be a stretch.
And one for clarification, the only reason I do agree with y'all that there are quote unquote higher, it's like different when you're in a big city. Like if you go to New York, you go to any big city. The reason why I say that is because you're going to have shitty schools that's very low, and it's going to be a lot of people clamoring for the bigger schools. But in the suburbs, the downfall is if your high school is not that good, you only have one option. So it's like that's the only option you have, and then you have to pay. Like in the city of Philadelphia, you have 87 charter schools. 87 charter schools. If the charter schools in Philadelphia was its own school district, it would be the 3rd largest in the state. So, I mean, you have a lot of schools that's not ran by the school district of Philadelphia. So, I mean, you have options.
I get it. You passionate about it.
I mean, this is my field.
This your field.
I'm in the education law. This is what I do. So I know how difficult it is. I know the shitty schools. I've sued some shitty schools. I've represented some shitty schools.
And by shitty, you mean low test score?
Nah, I can say shitty.
Oh, you have a different metric for shitty? Than you
No.
do for
Personally, I have a lot of metrics. For shitty, personally.
Off this topic. I was letting he was tailoring off. I was about to switch it up.
I'm gonna go back to my mad
You
rap.
can't change your metric now in the middle of an argument. Then you
No, I'm not changing my rap. I'm saying shitty because personally I know they had low rates. And like you said, which I will always say, because the reason why I moved to the district was because, the suburbs.
Oh,
when
for
you have a
schools?
child, no, because, well, to schools, but because I had one child at the time and she had special needs. So when you deal with special needs, I'm not touching school district for And also, not only that, a lot of charters have a difficulty programming for children with special needs.
That's what happened to me.
Because you have to curtail your whole program. Versus if you're in a district that has some resources, you might not go to. You might not go to.
Yubbi in the house.
I know, right? You might not go to school A. They might have that program at school B or C or D.
Right.
Versus a charter, they only have one off, so it's a little different.
So look, man, what we have happening this week, man?
I don't know. I'm mad. They got me riled up again. Not only she didn't push the goddamn button.
That was not my fault.
So
It wasn't your fault to push the button.
It wasn't my fault. This is in my podcast. I'm a guest. You don't invite somebody to your house and then tell them to turn on the stove. Invite somebody to dinner and be like, you can eat dinner, but you gotta turn the stove on, and they get mad if they don't turn the stove on.
Pretty much. And then we ain't gonna eat.
So look,
Y'all the worst guest host.
Right. So
I ain't making no water this week.
I was mad. Lucky I let y'all niggas in. I was about to not show up.
So what we have?
Podcasting from
people
outside.
hit me up. Yeah. A couple people hit me up.
If by people you mean
No, more than just about Saudia.
They say Saudia.
Saudia.
I think she says her name Saudia.
Saudia, who rose up in the McDonald's drive-thru and hired the girls.
that was creepy. If you look at the first part
when I first saw it, I'm like, man, she about to get these girls to start hooking.
Yeah.
Like,
that's exactly what it looked like.
What you know about Backpage?
OnlyFans.
Right. Only back they on.
What you know about OnlyFans? Who you following?
Who, me? I've never been on it. I just hear people talk about it. That's all.
Nah, it was a little weird, but I like what she was doing. I mean, I give it. I have a somewhat concern if that was my kid, and I was going to ask y'all, like, if that was your child, what would you do if they came home and told you it happened? Because to me, it's like you don't know her from a can of paint. Who's to say the next day she's just gonna go chaos on you and fire you? I would love to see 6 months from now if they still working there.
I mean, it's no guarantee they would have still been at McDonald's 6 months from now, but
yeah, but I don't think
McDonald's is a big company with a lot more resources or benefits or whatever. Hours.
I don't think you get benefits at McDonald's.
Hours.
You said what?
You ain't getting no benefits.
You ever been to country cooking?
You ain't, no, at McDonald's you ain't getting benefits. No, I'm saying McDonald's you ain't getting no benefits.
It was like one big fan. That's it. It was like at country cook. Yeah, you been in there before?
No,
only been once. It's like 6 million degrees.
Really?
It ain't no air. It was like.
Can you honestly say for food good? I've never
had it once, and it was alright.
It was alright.
You had it?
Nah.
Yeah, you don't eat that kind of food. You don't eat slave food. I forgot.
They don't eat the slave food. What you mean? He the field nigga. Remember we discussed he the field nigga, so he should eat all that shit. You eat all that shit, right?
Nah.
But she sells all different stuff.
I've never been
I don't
there.
Eat fried chicken.
She sells other stuff other than fried chicken.
You ain't black, bro.
Yeah, he ain't black.
I stay away from it as much, but I definitely eat it. But I've never been there. I've been meaning to try it, but since I've already eaten halal, it's not really that much of an option.
Besides your shirt today.
Why did you hate on my shirt though? So you want to be mad again? That was random too. She been waiting for that shit. You right. Next topic. Get out of here. I
thought when I'm watching, I'm like, is this one of them exposés or something?
Yeah, that was creepy.
I mean, just the way she kind of solicited. Like you're just.
Well, like why not?
If it was a dude, though, if that was a dude.
Oh no.
It'd have look crazy. That's what I was saying.
Why not like hold a hiring thing fair?
She did actually, and that's what I did because when I heard it, what put me onto it was like not only that I heard about it on Facebook and stuff, but then I saw Shade Room posted and I think like 5 million views. So I was like, this is like a big deal. That's when I started looking into it, and she did actually have a hiring. She was hiring that day.
Oh, okay.
So she was hiring that day from 12 to 3. So my thing would have been better than tell her to show up.
Did she go? Did she go to McDonald's to recruit?
No,
people?
she was like, no, you got to watch the video. She be into some like she was in the line eating food. Like she was just like went there to go order.
Yeah, you know they got videos of people eating food.
Yeah,
No.
my kids watch them.
Who people eat? What do you mean?
They're like videos of just people eating.
Like it'll be some lady or some man sitting there
or kids sometimes
eating crab legs, like dipping in it, like it's crazy.
Yeah,
like dipping it in butter, like it's just I don't know.
On YouTube, right?
Kids don't watch that.
Yeah. You know what I just found out? I was just looking at YouTube. I remember when YouTube was first bought, and it was in the red. They joined a $16 billion company. That's because of society.
Zoom, all them Jones.
But
like,
but I'm saying no. You remember when Google bought that joint? They bought it for $1 billion, and everybody like, why are you paying so much? Like they was in the red. They make no money. Now they a $15 billion company because all types of stuff is on there now.
Everything.
Yeah.
And that's all over advertising.
Once they hit the advertising,
that's all over advertising.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I don't know. With your kids ain't doing it though. They're millionaires, right?
Yeah.
Stop.
Shark Tank.
Stop it.
Come on with Shark Tank, bro. Your kids over there.
The Bow family.
My lip gloss be popping.
Can I send my kids over there for the Shark Tank? Can they pitch to y'all?
I know, right? Yo, you're the intern.
Right.
That's disrespectful.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna send Layla.
We can franchise the business.
That's because it ain't go to private school. That's why only private school can work for them niggas. But listen, real rap though, you gotta get what's the name, Lil Ma to come over there and do a promo. What do they call Lil Ma? My lip gloss be popping. You gotta get her to come do a promo.
She's like 40 now. You do know that.
She old, right? Yeah.
She old as hell.
She's like 40.
She still can come over and do a little promo.
Yeah, man.
Be on
She might do
Instagram.
a job too.
Yeah, she might.
So
how that feel, brother? Talk about it. Talk about it. What happened?
So my daughters, they started a company.
How old are they?
11 and 12.
That's what's up.
They got Irish. I don't know. Is that racist if I say I got Irish twins?
It might be. I don't know.
Probably.
All right.
Oh no.
All right. Yeah, they 11 and 12.
But you get
right.
Yeah, you said it.
I thought Irish twins was not with the same chick though.
Oh wow.
No,
Isn't that
it's like 10 months apart, right?
No, isn't
It's
that when they say they're like, no, real rap. I thought they was like not same female, but I could be mistaken.
Well, they are biased. I'll make that very clear.
I mean, I wasn't getting in your business.
They're 11 and 12, and they started. So this actually started like a little while ago, where it was like, they went through like all these different phases. All the kids make slime and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they started getting into like the fashion and stuff like that. And I don't know when it happened. They just like, this is what we want to do. So I was like, all right,
So,
what y'all want to do?
did they form their company yet?
Matter of fact, I'm working on it.
Working on it?
Working on it.
The LLC?
Yeah, well, a corporation. I don't know if it's going to be an LLC.
I think you might need to talk to a lawyer.
Oh, God.
That's quite possible.
So
if only we could think of a lawyer.
If I know a good lawyer, man. If you know a good one, let me know.
I'll be sure to let them know.
I mean, I'll hire him any day.
The way he was arguing us down in his group
he will not let down. He will
not relent.
Never.
I'm gonna put my hood on.
So,
congratulations to your daughter.
So yeah, man, Royal Beauty lip gloss.
I want $100 for that promo.
I got mine.
$150 every time you mention.
To everybody that supported.
Yep.
They sold out, and how quick though?
So they launched their open on Friday at like 9. By 10 o'clock they were sold out.
So how much did they have product there?
They had maybe 40 or 50 units.
That's what's up.
And then they immediately was like, wow, this is. So they had like some extra stuff. So they put together another 20.
Okay.
And that was going like another 20.
Nice. That's
awesome. Yeah, my wife bought some stuff because I've been trying to get my daughter. She said to my daughter, she got the entrepreneurial spirit, but it's back to that like. They don't have that work ethic.
Yeah, my kid's lazy.
So she talked about it. She talked about like 4 different things. She talked about slime. She talked about doing. I took her to one of them up in Manayunk. They have that. I don't know what it was. Some fair, and they show you how to make tie dye. Yeah. Like you can really make a tie dye joint, but not tie dye. It was almost like a Kmart, but you can make the print. Silks. It was amazing.
Right.
That never manifested. But the point is that they bought your daughter stuff. So shout out to them.
No,
come over and do a class. Do a class.
Nah, listen, like we did the Shark Tank in the crib.
Oh my God.
I'm probably over the top. I hold them to a high standard. So I was talking to my wife. I'm like, all right, they made a pitch.
Oh my God.
Like, do you really want me to like bring it down or just give them a little bit? So the thing was that I didn't want them to not do it though. So for me, it's about the experience. So I was like, I shot some holes in a couple things they was thinking. I'm like, yo, ridiculous. But I still, you know, and I still, you know, like I still encourage them to do it though. So
I feel you.
So they actually in the middle of their weekly team meeting. You know what I mean?
You made them take notes.
Yeah. I'm gonna review the notes. You know what I mean? I got my young boy, my son. He's gonna come on board to do their finances.
I haven't taken no money.
You gonna be skimming off the top or something.
They gonna be skimming like you got the new James from dog.
Right. Only made $25. I don't know where the money went.
Yo, it's crazy, right? So I was in the mall with my son and his homie earlier, right? And they like 14 or 15. And I'm just like I'm watching to see like if they checking out girls.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
How I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My 7-year-old had 2 girlfriends in his mind. He had 2 girls. Yeah, that little nut boy over there. He had 2. Listen, the funniest is right. So my ex, right? We married before. One day, my son comes in the bathroom. Oh, he asked my daughter, Amira, I need a picture of Aaron. And we're like, what? Because that was my ex's name. She's like, what? I need a picture of Aaron. What? The new girl next door name is Aaron. We over there like, what the hell are you talking about? He fantasizes about that's his new girlfriend is it. Then another new girl show up. Oh, that's my girlfriend. That's that age, man.
So I'm just like I'm watching it, and I'm just wondering like what age you start checking out.
Man, they've been checking them out, bro.
I mean, these young boys are a little bit different though.
Nah, they've been checking them out. They're worse. Yeah. They worse. Because it's like, I got to say, I got young siblings. I got a 17-year-old little sibling. They worse. Because, like, one time my 17-year-old, he just moved up to Abington, another school that's not performing as well as Philadelphia Public School. But nonetheless, he moved up to Abington, Abington High School, and he just got there, and he was talking about, like, different, trying to fit in, the max ain't fit in. And now, they don't want to crack on girls, just the Instagram. So now so he like going show me pages.
Yeah.
So he showed me his social media pages, and he like his joint be popping a little bit. But that's how he meeting people in class. Like, oh, she in the school, I found her, and I might talk to her. And he looking at their social media, and you should see these girls. They think they grow. So
they all think they model.
It ain't necessarily as sweet as it was. Because us, I felt like, how do I say it? For the most part, when we was young boys, when you saw them, that was your best shot. If you didn't, it was done. Mm-hmm. It was done. So
no way to.
You can't get them final later.
It ain't no get back. Mm-hmm. It ain't no I saw.
You
it ain't
got
nothing.
access to people now.
Yeah, and then remember, like at least for me, I don't know y'all a little older. You know what I mean? But for me, my senior year is when I first got a cell phone. So even with that, it was like that's your first real communication. So these kids nowadays, between cell phones, between all TikTok. Like they TikTok, and then once one person know about it, once one person in the class know about it, if you get cool one dude, she on Instagram, they follow it, and then you can get at it when you're not even in front of it. That's what I'm saying. In front of her.
No.
I meant like you can get at the sex or the interest. You can get into it. Okay. I mean, listen, you think people listen, man? I don't know.
I'm not ready.
Your daughter's on social media? Mm-hmm. No.
Well, we found out they both one has snuck and got a Snapchat, and one has snuck and got an Instagram.
How both are social media?
I know, but then I found out, and then I made them get rid of it.
How old?
8 and 13.
So you ain't let the 13-year-old have it?
No, because she has special needs, so it's a little bit like she's not like as mature as like
That was why I put my daughter on social media. Mm-hmm. Because my daughter, my oldest, she has social media. She might have like 11. And the sad part, my other daughter used to get me. Jenna got one. But my thing was because of her special needs, she's less likely to have friends.
Well, I mean,
so social media was her opportunity to try to get people to be like.
The reason I found out Amina had a Snapchat was because I was looking at her phone for something, and I saw like some dude was like snapping her and asking her for like underwear pictures, but she didn't get it though. She was like, cause she didn't understand that.
FYI, Snap. No.
She didn't understand that underwear was supposed to be
Facebook
like
or Instagram.
But that's why I didn't like Instagram though, because
people
anybody can see to even deny it. You got
none of the what's the name.
On what,
You can,
Instagram?
on Instagram, you can make your joint private. So what we did with my daughter, the 11-year-old, she said, okay, you can get one. She just got one like a month, less than a month ago, maybe, and it's private. So nobody can't see it unless they have to know.
Add her.
Yeah. So it's private. You can't just search for it. You can't.
But I mean, the text is bad enough. I mean, just like
texting.
Yeah, like they both have cell. I was trying to hold out as long as I could for them to not even have cell phones.
So again, for my daughter, her issue is social skills. So she's not really going to be like, oh, what's your number? Let's hang out.
Yeah.
It ain't that kind of party. And you should even see her on social media. You see her on social media because at first I created a YouTube channel again for her, like just to be like, have more self-confidence. But on social media, the thing she posts, she don't say that around the crib. But she all like, this is my favorite so-and-so. What y'all think? She ain't never that type of person. But she gets that confidence. So for me, it was like, let you have a little ring. But I did it. I checked. She followed me. That's nothing. You gotta
follow me.
I gotta be access.
Oh, they do have TikTok. They do have TikTok, and that's
kind of worse too.
It is bad. I don't like it. I'm
See,
not
Snapchat. The corny thing is they deletes. That's why.
So when they just got they had like iPods and iPads, but they just got cell phones maybe like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Word.
And so I added Bark. You ever heard of Bark? It's like an app that you can add where you can monitor all the things and it'll send you updates. Like it'll tag for like pornography or like foul length. You can set the center to like how sensitive you want it. It'll monitor for like depression symptoms, suicidal, like all kinds of things. It's called Bark.
Depression symptoms?
Yeah, so
what's the depression system?
Like if they so a couple of ones I got was like Amina had texted somebody like, I'm so sad today, I feel really bad, I didn't come out of my room all day, and it would send me alert like possible depression symptoms, like stuff like that.
That goes back to that Joe. Did I send it to you? Who was it that it was a TikToker that she was like, I posted on Facebook, and she was like ranting at her parents about like parents understanding. One of them was like, I need my privacy, I don't need to tell you everything.
Yeah, and then it'll tag for bullying. So do
you think that's invasion of privacy?
Well, I was getting an alert because the little one, she'll be like texting her friends, and then she'll like text the little girl like, and she'll write London like 500 times until she answers. So it was like,
so your daughter's the bully.
But that's what it tagged. It would tag Layla as the bully. But anyway, it'll tag for also foul language. But you could set it to like to ignore that.
Invasion of privacy.
Wait, let me tell you. So
that's too much.
One of the things, it sent me an alert, and it was like Amina having a conversation with somebody, and like a little girl had got smart with her, and she wrote. And Amina's my kid with special needs, and she was like, "I have homegirls that'll beat a bitch ass."
Man.
Whoa.
So
I the toughest kids in Mount Airy, dog.
Right? I'm like, nigga, like, so I called her in my room. I'm like, first of all, no, you don't.
So, question: how do you explain this to them? Like, oh, I got this app that I see.
They know because I had to like take their phone, upload the thing,
kids
and blah blah.
That stuff so
they're not thinking about it, and I just would be like, well, anyway, so. I had to have a talk where I like, first of all, you don't have homegirls that'll beat a bitch ass, and second of all, you will get your ass beat telling people that. Like, what is wrong with you?
What does she do?
She don't. Chloe.
How you know?
Chloe and Ariel. Chloe and Ariel gonna beat somebody's ass. Like, get out of here. You go to Quaker school at Horsham. You don't have no homegirls there.
Oh, she do? Oh, your daughter name what?
Amina.
I know her.
You don't know my daughter.
I swear to God, she went there for summer last year or summer, right?
Yeah, she
Real
does.
Slim?
Yeah.
Yeah, she know my daughter. Ask her about Jenna. I swear to God.
Oh, wow.
Because ain't too many black people up there.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, I just thought about it.
Extraordinary niggas.
Because she don't cover though, right?
No, she don't.
But she came up there, and that's exactly.
Oh, did she visit?
And there's another boy, Mike, right?
I don't know, Mike.
But anyway, that's when I'm talking about the personal and the social. She don't really socialize. So when I was dropping her off, she's like, Amina. And
Amina is very outgoing. That's part of her disability.
She's real short, right?
No, she's tall.
No. There's only one. I'm telling you. I know.
I'll show you a picture.
Bet money. I know you're talking about them. But no, I think it's too much for me, man. Listen, I gotta trust them.
Anyway, I ended up taking it off because it was too. It was
it's too much.
I was getting alerts all day long about just all kind of stuff, and I was like, I know it's the hair. I got too much hair.
It's too much, man. My thing is like, man, I want to know, but I want to know areas. My daughter's simple. If you in group checks, all right, cool. You got group
The
chats.
group
with friends.
chats are the worst.
I'm okay, but if you and no boys by yourself,
The
you can't
group,
no
the
boys.
girls' group chats are bad though.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not getting into that because I know how mine was.
They're terrible.
Listen, you got to think about this. OPP came out in '94.
Well, nah, I got one
baby.
better for you.
That's all I'm saying.
Rump shaker.
That's what I'm saying.
Zoom.
Yo, all I'm saying,
God.
Poison came out in '93.
Yeah, I know.
I'm all in 6th, 7th grade, dog.
Layla was playing.
Zoom in the pump.
Yo,
Layla
what
was
about my
playing
man
something-
said, I need a body bag? I didn't even know what that meant, but that was my line. I need a body bag. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Now I didn't realize he even said it until I think they did the what's the name special?
Oh yeah.
The new edition special. I thought,
Oh,
oh, damn, he do say I need a body bag. Damn, he's talking about condoms. Damn. I'm 6th, 7th, 7th grade.
OPP, that
I
was
mean,
crazy.
yeah.
So all I'm saying is you got to my thing is, number one, if I ask for your phone, I'm taking it. That's simple.
Yes.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I do look.
Occasionally I might.
Yeah, I spot
And if I see
And I tell them
something,
don't erase nothing.
I spot you.
But I do that. And then the other thing is, the one thing I do like about Apple Unplug, whatever, is you got the family joint. So they can't download nothing
Yeah, without
unless
getting
I gotta
alert.
approve it. So I approve it. So like my daughter, she wanted TikTok, I let her do that.
Yeah.
But she don't have YouTube on her joint. She got YouTube Kids.
Kids.
No, actually, she just graduated to regular YouTube.
Mm.
But this knucklehead, my 7-year-old, he can't get YouTube. He has to go into like, where everyone can see it. And the other thing, even with YouTube, you got accounts.
Yeah.
So I can go to history and say, all right.
Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah.
So that's my main
It's
thing.
a lot to do that. Like I was thinking when we was in high school, like the big thing was getting a phone in your room.
Pager.
Nah, phone in your room.
Yeah,
that
remember you have a phone in your
No,
room.
the big thing is when you
Yeah.
had when you had the cordless phone. That was my thing.
Yeah,
Then that shit
I
stayed
had
in
my
my
own.
room.
I had my own line in
By
my
default.
room with the answering machine. Like I was really.
Yeah, you was bougie. You was bougie. That's why you elitist now. That's why you elitist now.
Shut up.
You had a if you had
one way.
if you had caller ID or call waiting, you was bougie.
No, whatever.
You ever have to do emergency block?
These kids don't know nothing about
I think
that.
my peoples did it.
Yo,
Is that people, you be on the phone, they be,
Right.
what the hell is that?
Right.
Get off the damn phone.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry. No, the best I was telling my wife that day, the double ring. The joint when you be like,
Oh, two lines.
no, not that. If you like 9, 10 o'clock, I couldn't have no girls call my grade. None. I was 16, 17. So they called the first time,
Oh, and they hang up.
wrong number, then to call back.
Yeah.
That was the thing. So they call and then, oh no, wrong number.
Well,
so
I had my own
now I
line.
gotta call
Anybody
back.
could have been calling me in my room, and they would have never
You was
known the
bougie.
difference.
I had a pager though.
I was not bougie.
Having that beeper, that was my
The
jam.
beeper,
Pager
yeah.
was hot. But then my pop took my pager on me. You ain't no fucking drug dealer. Like only drug dealers
Like,
need the
only
pager.
right, man.
Like nobody.
You should have been like, I'm a doctor.
That was so short-lived. The whole association of pagers and drug
Drug
dealers.
dealers.
No, that was the only thing, dog. They like, my dad's biggest thing was you ain't no fucking drug dealer. He's like, what you got a pager? I hide my pager.
I'm like, so girls could
I
call
hid
me.
my pager.
You have like a special code for certain people, like
Oh my
alright,
god.
after the number, put this code. That's
Oh my
me.
goodness.
No, I was like,
Yeah.
nah, that was a little extra. My only thing was back then, if somebody paid you, they really like. You liked them, like oh shit, I got paid. Like you be like, you had to drink. Like,
Yo, let me
I got paid.
Yo, this
You
sounds
find
so
a pay
silly
phone.
now.
Yeah.
They gonna find a phone.
This sounds so ridiculous.
I probably
right
did
now.
that a couple times.
You gotta find a phone.
This
Yeah.
sounds so bad.
No, the funniest thing though about pages was going into the damn little cell store and paying you
Yeah,
$5,
yeah,
$15 a month. Or remember when you late, you like, how much I owe now? How much I owe now? Can I get my shit turned back on
I
now?
don't even remember paying for mine.
Oh, you had? Oh, some nigga paid.
Right.
No,
Something
no,
her dad
I
probably-
wasn't into that. Yeah, my dad probably did pay for it. I wasn't into boys like that. I married the dude I was with the whole time through high school.
That don't mean nothing.
So I
He
didn't
could have been paying it.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yo, that pager.
You had to go into the, well, just so you know,
I didn't.
you would have
do
to
that.
go into this like random phone
Yep,
store,
yep.
wait in line, pay with the
I
boy with the
never
little.
did that.
It was always a reach.
Yep.
Like it wasn't like a.
It wasn't like a regular size counter. The counter was like it was a counter on top of.
Where did I pay for my
Everywhere.
bread?
They had beeper
Yeah.
stores everywhere.
That's
I didn't
what it
do
was,
it. I never
bro.
went to a beeper. I don't
They
remember
was
that.
making bread, man. Cause you
Yeah,
think like they get like $10 a month, and I'm talking about the line was always 4 or 5 niggas in front of you, and you always had to climb up like, yo, man, give me 5. This is my number, and they would punch it in and you pay. And sometimes if you late and they snipe
They
it,
turned up.
you got to pay back.
Yeah.
So you be like, all right, you go $20. Give me some
This
last
is
month.
ridiculous.
That was the
Meanwhile,
shit,
now
though.
I got 4 cell phone
Right.
plans.
My
It's
son,
like-
he was like, "Dad, how old was you when you got your first cell phone?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
25.
I was grown. Like, last year.
right, right.
It's about 4. I got 8 cell phone numbers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
8 lines. I'm like, oh, my family. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
I just had to get a new one.
Right.
I just had to get a new one yesterday. And then motherfuckers got upgrades and don't tell me shit.
Yeah.
Man, you get my wife and oh man, it's crazy. I got 8 lines.
So like part of
Who's bougie now?
I mean, listen, my kids are bougie. I'm not bougie. My kids are bougie. I work hard for my shit, so I ain't bougie. It's a difference.
What? So if you bougie, that mean you don't work hard?
Generally speaking, it's like you're giving it. Like, if you work hard and you like nice shit, you're not bougie. You working hard, you getting it.
Okay.
Now if you just expect nice shit, you bougie. So you expected a lot of you room, that's some bougie shit.
I did not expect that, but I asked for it, and my parents said okay.
That was why you was bougie.
No, I wasn't bougie. I
Was you
mean,
living in
maybe I
Winfield?
was bougie.
You living in Winfield too, probably, was he?
nah,
Where was you living at? Up west.
Chestnut.
Oh, at least Winfield got black people. Damn, Chestnut Hill, you was bougie, dog.
I wasn't.
If you had a backyard coming up, you was bougie
I
too.
didn't have a. I don't remember.
In Philly?
No. If you had a backyard with grass in it, because like if you just had the concrete little short
That's true.
backyard.
I don't know if I was bougie. I don't know.
Yo, you just said you don't know how you paid your pager.
My
I remember
dad
every
must have paid
pager,
it.
but that's the prop. Yo, my phone, I had to get myself.
For me,
My dad was having messing with me getting no cell
bougie
phone.
is like you too good for something.
Yes, right.
That's where I see it. Like I'm good whether I'm in where like I can go to a block party in North Philly and I'm
Right.
But a boy that like be like, oh, I'm not going down there
Right.
to that block party or I'm
Right. Like him, he probably don't go to no black
What?
parties.
I know all the hood spots.
So-
I'm tripping.
so I think
know Dutch.
to
I'm
me-
good
to
everywhere in
me-
my hood, dog. Don't
to
get
me
twisted.
that like that's like or you look down on them like oh,
Right.
niggas out there.
Like you probably never been to Sid Booker's, have you?
For me?
Yeah. Look, she's bougie.
I've had
See?
someone bring
See?
me Sid
See?
Bookers before. I know that I've never stood in line
That's
for
why
truck
you.
before.
I've stood out in line with you.
Yeah,
You see
but
the-
are you too
can
good
see-
to do that?
No, I will do it.
If she ain't never done
I
it,
will
she
go
be good. Because
anywhere,
sometimes
though.
you need that Sid Booker.
No,
fucking
I'll
truck.
go anywhere.
Sometimes
I
it'd be
literally
like-
go anywhere.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, you're like, damn, there's only one place to go. It's where you need to
I
go.
mean, I get it, but for
But if you
somebody
want to
that-
do it, then
but for somebody that's like too good,
No, I do.
Like, that's
I
the-
literally.
like that's the
I should be more bougie than I am. People
What?
assume I am.
that don't make sense.
Yeah.
You
I
should be more
so,
I
bougie.
so let me
should.
ask you this. All right, look. So I was like, yo, when I grow up, I'm not eating no damn oodles and noodles.
Mm.
That's bougie.
No, I mean if you had enough of it.
I trust me. Trust me, I had enough.
I mean, I still fucked with hot dogs and baked beans. I make it on time
I
to
mean,
time.
But I'm just saying that person is like, yo, I'm too good for this. I'm too good for that.
So you're admitting that you're bougie.
Nah.
He is bougie.
Nah, I'm not.
He's a bougie Phil.
He
nigga.
he made fun.
He's a bougie
He
Phil. nigga.
made fun
Yo.
of the private school my kids go to.
Listen, talking about
You did, yes, you did.
Excuse me, man.
You made fun of the private school my kids go to.
I'm
That
with
is
you.
He said
bougie.
it's not
I'm
private
talking-
school enough. It's
Exactly.
private-ish. It's private-ish.
Exactly. He was like, the kids at your school, they call the teachers by their first name. We make fun of you guys.
No.
Did you not say that?
I didn't make. I made fun not of the
He
school like
bougie
it's
though.
lesser. I'm just saying it's a practice.
Yo, he's the Phil nigga out there who be telling other niggas why they working so hard. He's the bougie Phil
Nah.
nigga.
Nah.
But all I'm saying is, I think if you have things that you said you wanted to accomplish when you got older, I have those things. I really like up until probably law school, so it's probably 2026. A great meal for me was Olive Garden and fucking Red Lobster. And then I started getting a little taste of the little different restaurants. I never really went downtown, and I even like sushi. I tell people, weirdly enough, I love sushi, but I didn't even get put on until Birmingham, which is random as hell. But I don't think it's a bad thing if you start liking. The problem with bougie is if you can't try other spots. So like the best, people don't know the spot in it closed down. Joe's Tacos, man. That shit was in like right off of 9th and Spring Garden. It's in a house. Like the Mexicans literally live in the back.
Right.
Like they used to come out with their kids and shit and then be making the best tacos. So I'm a person where I don't care where it is. If it's good, it's good. I'm gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, I'm like that too.
I
But
don't know
bougie's
about
not
that.
only food though, but
I mean, and everything. I'm gonna fuck with it.
So
I mean, I don't have to go to like the it's certain things I do like that I like in a certain way, but I'm gonna go anywhere.
so
wherever
as
it
far
takes.
as so
But my kids are bougie because they'll be acting like some shit.
so even like with the kids stuff like how like their access to electronics and just how it's just so different. I was thinking about like just the way the whole Corona joint like impact all of that.
What you mean?
like
Also?
schools.
I mean like the school like just the whole like
Do
way
your
of life.
kids like see other kids?
I mean, we were just at the mall earlier,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? But stuff like like my kids pretty much didn't do a lot of like video games and TV and beforehand.
All the private school books they got to read and shit, right?
But now,
all the great resources they got private school. So
part of it is the great resources, bro. Like that is part of it.
They got no time to build robots and making businesses and shit.
Yeah,
right?
they did. I remember when we visited CH at Springside, and they were like, "This is our pre-kindergarten physics lab," and I was just like, "Get out of here."
But I'm just saying, like, so for me, it's just been a whole big transition, like, with just how that impacted.
So now they play video games.
I mean,
there's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like my daughter's playing Roblox, and one of my daughters was a little bit more inclined to that stuff, but the other was just, like,
what did she do? She was in a school.
I mean, just
books,
like school sports. Like,
okay.
Kids play a lot of sports, you know, but like school sports, you know, stuff like that.
I don't know. I feel like I do agree with the Corona changes things, but I do think back to what we were talking about earlier. It's just like different shit. Because me coming up, I was a video game junkie. Like me and my brother, we played Tecmo Bowl till 2, 3 in the morning. Like all the
you
Nintendo.
Still play video games?
Oh yeah, I still play Madden, but I'm not heavy into it. But Madden, I am. But my point is, my kids are not video games, so their things might be the social media and stuff like that. So I think it's just different. It's like everything is. It's kind of like you said earlier. It's kind of like generational based. Like that's their thing now. You know, so they don't like my son. He don't play. I don't let him play that damn. What's that joint called? Fortnite. No, I don't play that shit.
I don't know anything about that.
But you think about it, that's like tag or whatever. It's just virtual. It's like manhunt or whatever. It's virtual.
They ain't playing that shit. I let him play Mortal Kombat.
I don't even know.
Crazy.
I don't even know what this
play Fortnite.
I think it's Sub-Zero. Like.
It's more fantasy, but Fortnite is like basically like they really hunt people and kill people.
Oh, jeez.
And they like fight and they like fighting. And
no,
that's basically what it is. It's like everybody trying to kill people, and then they be like, and then it's social media where they like interact with people, so you could. And that's another thing I think. Even with social media, we were talking about earlier, like you gotta, even if you let them do some of the stuff, my thing is how much do they not have contact with randoms? Because like the Fortnites, it'd be a lot of random grown ass men on them Joe.
Yeah.
No, I do.
And I'm like,
and that's the thing. Like some parents talk about, Roblox has a chat feature, but what's the other one? Minecraft doesn't. So they're saying like Minecraft is safer because you can't interact with strangers.
But I don't know how none of that. My kids, I hear them play Roblox.
I don't know how what's the name works.
But so y'all social distance people or like?
Nah. Well, I don't know what you mean by social.
I mean, I'm just like, you ain't going nowhere. You locking down. Like
I've been pretty much locked down. I go to physical therapy on Mondays. That's about it.
Nah,
and here,
this is the second time.
Right.
And you didn't want to push the button because you talking social distance. You probably didn't have your hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I know. I need some. We don't have masks on.
My thing with the whole shit, man, is like somebody gonna get it. So.
This weekend I went out twice to restaurants. I haven't not been out since before Corona started.
Nah,
see, it's just weird.
See, like, you live in the city of Philadelphia, so you know.
What that mean?
They're not open. They're not really open. You can't really eat inside. You can only eat outside.
Yeah, well, I went to two restaurants outside.
Where I live, I can eat in a restaurant. So I've been to quite a few restaurants. I'm just saying facts.
What's wrong with him?
I'm just saying that's.
I mean, I don't want to eat inside. I prefer to eat. I could have gone into the county. I can drive. Like
yeah, but you might not want to drive.
I had to drive to go downtown. I don't live near Center City. That's why I ate.
You guys want schools to open or?
It's gonna be craziness, man.
It's hard because, like I said, I got the one kid with special needs and then the other one.
But their joint is alright. Their summer program was alright.
Oh yeah, she did great.
They're gonna probably do. They told me, what's it, Jen Gallagher, the lady running the joint.
Yeah, that's
Jen, she was telling
me.
Jen was telling me they're gonna be back in. They're probably gonna be back in session. In the fall.
It's like groups of people that's like really against it.
Abington. Well, my thing is, if the teachers don't want it, I'm gonna support the teachers. If the teachers think it's a bad idea, then I'm listening to the teachers.
But I don't know what's the option though.
Abington said, did CHA send y'all anything?
Yeah,
like
they want to open.
Yeah, Abington's
like
open.
they have a
too.
plan.
So
I mean,
does AFS.
it is a little I don't want to say unfair, but like we got the space,
right?
The research class size was already small.
Right. They're making them even smaller now.
So it's like
for the private schools, because my nephews at Haverford, I heard they might go back. I do think like for the private schools, it shouldn't be a problem. For the public schools, if I have my druthers, I represent some schools, and then one of my clients they talking about rotating weeks. But for the public school, what they really should do is send the high schoolers online. And if you use some of those buildings, you can be able to do it. So like think about Fells. Y'all know you've seen the new Fells. That building is ridiculous. Like Fells, oh my God, that building's crazy. But my point is, like, if you take some of those high school buildings,
and use them for the younger kids,
some of the younger kids, I think
they can spread out. That's a good idea.
But they not.
You want to call Dr. Height? Let's pitch it to him.
I mean, Dr. Akbar over here, she's calling shots.
Oh yeah,
she called
meetings
meetings
today,
with administrators and council people.
I know, right?
I don't want that job.
I mean,
but I think that's what they should do, but they're not. But that's what, at least in my county or my district, they're considering that. Because I think, like, for the kids, like my first grade, like, my daughter was in 5th grade, like, all right, the problem I have, back to resources in public versus private, to be blunt, like, a lot of these schools, even in the district, Abington, Cheltenham, who else I know, a couple of there, I can't think off the top of my head, but they were horrible online programs. Mm-hmm. It was just like, here's the work, check in on this time. That was horrible. Versus some of my clients, which are charter schools, had actual live classes.
But do you
like
think,
that's crazy.
That's related to the, like, the demographics,
what you
like
mean?
who they serve, like, because
nah,
like
and my
like
son,
I give you. I mean, I just think sometimes, like, different groups have a different approach to those kind of things. Like,
no, because
like,
the white people in my district was bitching.
Oh, okay.
They were mad.
They were mad.
Okay.
Because when I'm saying my son is in 1st grade, he reading on a 2nd grade level. He knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't educate a K to about 3rd grade with that online program that
that's
well.
What I think with Layla
you need the help.
She did not do good. I mean, she could do it, but she was in 2nd grade last year.
You need the K to about 3 or 4 grade. You need that help because it's like they just don't know. Thank God his mom and my wife is a teacher. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying to you,
does she want to go back?
No, well, she ain't been teaching for a couple of years.
Okay. She ain't got to teach, huh?
You recruiting teachers?
No, I was wondering. I said I'm listening to what the teachers want. So I was curious about what she thinks.
So,
that's what's up.
She chilling.
That's more work.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is, so my point is, I think that they should look at the hired kids and figure out, all right, for a year they can do online or more online. And then on the flip side, what they can do for the younger kids is have them be spread out more. Because that's the other problem. The big problem I think people are complaining about is if you put the young kids in the school, they're not going to keep their mask on.
No, they're not.
You can't get the damn kids keep their mask on no matter where. And then the other thing they complain about is you can't follow the state guidelines with rotating. Because you're supposed to have a certain amount of, like, how many times you're not rotating, because then you, like, contact tracing and shit like that. So I don't know. From what I've seen, though.
Listen,
What do the
dog, get them niggas out my house.
I know. I mean,
well,
that's the one thing.
Man.
That's the only thing about being divorced. I get to be like, see y'all in a couple days.
They're gonna come up with a great plan of how to fix your house up.
Man.
They're gonna go
eating up everything.
I know.
Like, they always there. I can't even. I'm like, nigga, you still there?
Yeah. I send mine right to their thing.
That's a question I have though with people who are like splitting kids. Because my kid at first, my one son. Well, my daughter come every other week, so that's all right. Because, the whole, like, 5 days you'll contact and you'll have symptoms. Mm-hmm. My one son, he was like, it was like a weird schedule, like 2, 3. It was like back and forth. I had to put it to 5 because I'm like, you can go over there, come back over here coughing, and I don't know what the hell happened.
So
how did you do it?
It's not going to work. I mean, I'm pretty locked down, and he's not as much as me. And every week I'm like, hey, the kids told me you went to the gym today. Like, hey, the kids told me you had a cookout.
Right,
and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess I should have told. And I just be like, I can't.
So you just watch the kids and what they was going on?
Yeah, I mean, I take their temperature pretty regularly.
When they come in the crib?
Not when they come in the crib.
Yep, you got to get out. Go back.
I bought the forehead joint off Amazon, so I'll be like.
Put your forehead joint.
I put a forehead joint too.
Yeah, see, I just.
Do the peepholes.
I was going to take them. The problem is that they want to go visit my parents, and my parents are like in their 70s, and my grandma, who's 95, lives with them. And my mom is like, my grandma gets sick. That's a rare, So I was going to take them to get tested before they go down there, but then they go to their dad's house and they'll be out, and then it doesn't even matter. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm not getting that test, dog.
You're not stick it all the way back in your brain.
I got tested.
Hell,
like 3 months.
You got the.
Nah, I got the good insurance test.
Oh, all right.
Was in the mouth?
Yeah,
I heard they had another one.
That was a little joke.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
I ain't go.
Did you have symptoms? Why'd you get tested?
My thing when it first popped was like, I'm not gonna say it don't matter if you get it, but like if you get it, you gonna get it. Ain't no shit about
Yeah,
that.
everybody's going to get it. I think.
I mean, I don't know.
Can
At least
I
my
just say,
family's that.
I probably already had it.
I think I probably did too.
You think so?
I
Get to
think
anybody's
most black people feel like they already had it.
Everybody
Everybody
I had it
does
in
that. I had it in
November.
February.
Yo, listen,
Remember when I was sick?
I had it in February.
Shut up.
I'm telling you.
Yo,
I'm telling you.
I never got put down though.
Well, take the antibody test and prove it.
My body
I
went.
don't need it.
Did everybody else in your house? Was everybody in your house? Sick in February?
No.
Well, then you didn't have it because everybody else would have got it.
Everybody gets it.
Everybody don't have symptoms. That's
No,
right.
but everybody don't get it. And everybody. All I'm saying is, my thing was this. I got 8 people in my house. So the bottom line is, if one of us get it, we all got it. It is what it is. So I wanted to test. No, I mean I think one person get it. The way we in my house, one people all get it. So my point is, my wife got tested first. She came back clear.
There's no such thing as slavery.
My wife got tested first. She was clear. The young baby. And the other thing is, I didn't want my sons, the young bulls, to get it because they won't tell you I feel sick. They won't tell you that. So you don't know what's going on. So my thing is, we let my wife and the young people get it because they be around each other most, breastfeed and all that shit. And then I got tested like a little way later. So that was my thing. No, I'm just saying because they sharing breastfeed.
My ex-husband has a baby too, so I was like wondering, worry about your baby. I don't know,
so my thing is now they got tested galore. I'm good. Like if they get it, just test them. If somebody gets sick, you get them tested. You find out what's up.
I wrote about this block party the other day, dog.
You got out.
Yo.
Which one? Was you the one they just talked about in the news?
It was off of Germantown Ave.
No, I heard the one on 33rd.
Oh, they was rotating though. They was like going to every.
I heard one on 33rd Alligator was crazy.
Germantown Ave.
It was lit.
Nigga, that joint was popping.
Yo, I took my sons out. One of my neighbors had a crazy party. It was something nice over there. I had a throwable though.
Yeah, throwable.
I had a throwable, man. Straight commando underneath that joint too.
What's wrong with you?
But I had a throwable, man. I couldn't go over and look like, hey, how y'all doing? Like I wanted to. I had liquor all out there.
You just stay right in your house.
No, let's clarify. I wasn't trying to go to the party. My son was riding bikes, so I told him I'd take him out.
He was riding a bike with a throwable?
No, my son. No.
On a bike?
No, let's clarify. I was not on the bike. My sons were on the bike, and one is on the training wheels. So I told him I would go out there with him. So I just threw a throwable on. Like, I walk my community. Ain't nothing in my community I got to worry about. And next thing you know, I see all these jokes at the party. All these jamming, all the little Roddy Rich playing. Oh, shit. Damn, I wish I would have known. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what's playing. Exactly. I'm like, damn, man, I should have threw some gear on. I don't know this going to be popping
right
like
back
that.
In the house.
But no, folks are definitely partying heavy now, man.
I just think that it's really not sustainable to just. Then it's like this in between, like you kinda, then it's not. So I just think.
I've been more lax in the past.
It's hard to maintain that kind of diligence.
I'm coaching football.
Right.
Taking my son to football.
Right.
Listen, you going to get it, you don't get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but people dying though.
No, but let's clarify though. That not only the death rates is significantly a small percentage, but the other big issue.
I bet he got
there is a date on that. Listen, I was set to go to Maldives. Don't forget, I was ready to go, and this shit popped off. So I've been looking at this shit for a while now.
Bougie stuff is
I cancel all my trips.
I mean, I spent a lot of money. Is what I'm trying to say. And I've been following this shit since January because I spent a lot of money. I
know supposed to go to Bora Bora, but
Bora Bora. Damn. I don't know where Bora Bora is.
Extraordinary niggas.
Yeah, all right. This nigga came back from Ghana last year.
I know, right?
But all I'm saying is, my only point was that the big issue wasn't necessarily people getting it. It was about the hospital beds.
Yes.
And it was about the issues about can they treat you.
Right.
And right now, at least in Pennsylvania,
yes,
the hospital beds is not an issue. Now, other places they.
But have you read about the long-term effects though? If you get it,
I have not.
You should read that. There's pretty bad. It's a lot of them.
Tell me.
I mean, I'm not a medical doctor.
But like, wait. You're not a medical. Oh, I don't. If you're not a medical doctor, I don't call people doctors.
That's why I be telling y'all don't call me doctor.
Oh man.
She
got everybody fooled.
No, literally.
But what's the long-term effect?
It's a lot of them, but they're talking
name one of them,
doctor.
They're talking about how like it it hurts like lots of different organs in your body, and so you can have like long-term lung damage, long-term like cognitive issues.
So if I find
long-term
that says otherwise, and I share it to the
please
group.
bring it next week. Oh, I'm not coming back.
I read this. I did read an article about somebody talking about, but I still don't even think that. I mean, the part of the issue is like you have everything from you have zero symptoms to
right.
You want a
ventilator.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So I think like, it's
but you
hard
just
to,
never know what you gonna be,
and it's hard to discern from that because I know people like on both sides of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I just think mentally.
I mean,
it's
I had
hard
a student die.
Now my thing is, everything I've read is that it's not a cold, but it's similar to a flu and a cold. And the thing is that different people attack differently depending on your own.
Look up the long-term
immune
symptoms
system.
of it. It's bad.
I'll look it up. I just read that. But,
oh my God, what's your next topic on here? Do you have another topic?
But my only point is the big issue with this, from when I've read everything I read, that the biggest thing is that the non-symptom is asymptomatic, and then also the fact that you can spread it so quickly.
Yes.
So that was the issue. That was everything. So with hospital beds, it was like if you need to be.
And that was the whole thing about flattening the curve. That
exactly.
You didn't want everybody to get it at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my thing, we're going to get it.
But yeah, I mean, I think most estimates said that
like 80%.
three quarters of everybody
is going to get it.
So, all right, well, Yubbi,
leave him alone. He's fine.
So you're going to get it. So all I'm saying is at the end of the day, though, the issue to me is like, do you have the treatment?
I still ain't trying to kill my grandmom off, though. You know?
No, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, but you can get tested. I was trying to go see my grandma. They didn't want to let her in. Happy birthday today. Today's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
And they won't let nobody in her car. She was like one of the retirement homes in Florida. They won't let nobody in there.
No. I mean, I think something like that, you gotta.
Yeah, no doubt.
You gotta stay away from that. So.
What else on the topic, man?
I don't know, man. I think
that it?
That's it.
No, it was something else.
We did like 2 hours today.
We really did.
First 30 minutes.
The first 40 minutes.
Unedited. The lost tapes.
Out there, right.
I'm
going to pull something out of it.
We ain't do the men. What are we talking about? What's that comment about the men and the women?
Two things. We supposed to do just the impact. So the post that they put up, he was asking about what the Muslims are doing about all this.
Oh, I had something to say about that. No,
go ahead. What you want? I want to hear what
well, no, so
she during... newcomer, skip that shit.
She a newcomer.
She ain't got a right.
I don't get a say.
You got no say.
No, so this is the thing. So like right when quarantine started, I signed up for this thing. It's like Philly Mutual Aid. So you could sign up and it's for people who like need things or people who want to give things. So like if you want to give people rides to a grocery store or donate money or buy groceries or people need that stuff. So it was right around Ramadan. So I finally got my first call and I signed up to buy groceries for people. So the guy called. He's like, I have a person. You want me to connect you with her? I'm like, yeah. So she sent me a list. I went grocery shopping. I brought all the stuff. And then I brought it to her house. And so when I got there, it was a Muslim woman. And she had like an infant. She was telling me she had an infant. And she had 2 other kids. So I was like, of course, I was like, oh, you're welcome. She's like, I'm so thankful. But then I was like, it's Ramadan. You got an infant. Like, where are the Muslims? Why are you, why you have to sign up for a Philly Mutual Aid website to have a stranger bring you groceries? Especially during this time when people are...
That wasn't a topic,
though.
No, it was part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like...
Story, man.
No, that's it. I mean, I was happy to do it. And I was just like... But I just felt after that, like, I was like, well, that's just one thing that's not sustainable. And I was feeling like, you want people to be able to have all the time. Like, I don't want her to have to go back on... I just was thinking, like, some communities, like, why are we not taking care of each other? And not that I'm all, in the Muslim community or whatever, but, like, for something like that, I was thinking, like, you have an infant, there's a dad somewhere, like, I don't know.
Yo, come on, I see him. He's ready.
I know, what?
No, I just thought that wasn't the topic.
What was the topic?
So I mean
the Muslim impact or Muslim doing anything about the black on black crime.
Well, that was part of that was my thing. But we're talking, but that's part of like taking care of the community.
Yeah, like,
that's what I was saying.
What she's saying was
because also when I used to work for like in child welfare, I worked at DHS and we would go to court. No, shut up. But I would go to court and it would be like all these Muslim women and kids in child welfare system. But I'm like, it's because it's well, you don't think child welfare is connected to like all the things in the city? It is.
Nah, not crime.
It is connected to crime. It is. But anyway.
Where's your statistics, Doc?
But my thing is like, why aren't there Muslim social service agencies? Why are we not? There's Catholic social services, there's other agencies, there's hospitals.
The only one who really is heavy, at least from my understanding, in the social service world is Jeffs.
No, it's not only
the heavy. They have heavy. I'm talking like
Catholic social services. You never heard of them?
Who they provide?
It's literally called.
No, I'm saying they might. No, I'm saying like what I mean heavy. I'm talking about. You got to remember in Philadelphia, for example, they got the KUAs now. So a lot of the social services are outsourced to private companies.
Right, but some of those private companies are Christian based, though.
Okay. So which one? So I'm saying
Catholic social services.
So they don't have they're not none of the KUAs.
Catholic, I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
A KUA
is
like
a community umbrella association.
But it's
basically,
foster care agency.
What they've done is they in Philadelphia, because of DHS and different issues, they basically said we're going to network it to the local community. So outsource it. So they made one person like a provider. So one of the major ones is what's the bull's called? I can't think of it.
It's a bunch. Wordsworth, Lutheran. It's a bunch of
but it's like 5 or 6 of them that run the area, and then they subcontract to other people to do the work. But they're the ones responsible for overseeing it. So that's included some of the social welfare issues. That's why my point was. And I know Jevs has a couple contracts. That's my point. And I was saying like that's what I mean. I'm not saying there's no cap because there are some. Back to my point, there are some Muslim services that do it, but they are providing for Muslims. So unless you know about the service, you won't know. And that's why I was asking. That might be the same with the Catholic joint.
No, Catholic
versus like
social service is like a large agency and they have a bunch of programs. But I mean, the Catholic Church, that's something different. But what my whole point is that, I always used to be really sad to see like why can't we take care of our community? And I mean that in terms of like black people, Muslims, whatever.
I don't know. I think that's a little different reach. I think at the end of the day, is being on the board of a magistrate for over 15 years. You got to remember that that's not their specialty, and a lot of them unfortunately don't have the capabilities of doing that. You got a lot of magistrates in Philadelphia are like equated. Like even look at churches. Like let's be realistic, right? Most churches are not the E9s, are not the mega churches. So a lot of those churches don't have those capabilities neither. But you got like 5 or 10 or maybe more, I don't know how many, big churches in Philadelphia that are doing some of that might expand amongst other groups. Philadelphia and the masjids, they're all the storefront churches. That's how they operate. Unfortunately, it's probably like 2 or 3 that's not.
And the biggest masjid don't pales in comparison in size.
To the E9.
Oh, you mean pairs like
one of them I used to go to as far as indigenous or black people, you got probably South Philadelphia as far as the biggest. That's probably one of the biggest. I mean, there's others, but I'm thinking about big. Germantown is now pretty big, but as far as African and indigenous, probably not. You talking about not indigenous? You talking about not? You got Al-Aqsa, which is down there on Germantown. They got a school. They're pretty big. You also got right outside of Philly, Devitt is pretty big. You got Cherry Hill out in Jersey is really big. It's pretty get big. So you got those. But my point is that, and Cherry Hill actually, back to, it's not Philly, but Cherry Hill does have a social services for South Jersey that's Muslim based. They also have now a free clinic. That's a medical clinic that started out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so they have that, but
I wish we had more of that.
But that's a different community, Cherry Hill.
No, I know that.
I'm just saying it's just a different community.
Yeah.
So it's not many doctors living in Philadelphia area that are Muslim that are sending these messages.
Yeah.
But I mean, but a Muslim woman with 3 children and an infant needing food during Ramadan, like that's basic.
Yeah, but I think that. I think being inside, like we inside the Muslim bubble for the most part. So I mean, like we.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
You don't know. So I think that because we're in it, like we don't like seeing it from the outside. You see what I'm saying? Like I interact with more Muslims than somebody that's not Muslim on the outside. You know what I mean? So I know the different. You know, it seems like there's a lot of Muslim communities, but it's really not. You know what I mean? Like, or it seems like. So that's when I'm saying, like we inside the Muslim bubble. So when you look at it from the outside, see what kind of resources we have, see what kind of structures we have, and things like that. I think that's a part of why certain things are lacking. You know what I mean?
I just felt bad that it's not like that, something like that with the mutual aid. I mean, maybe that's just meant for a snapshot in time. But my thing was like, dang, it would be great if I had somewhere to refer her to that whenever she needed something.
But there is somebody,
it's
it's company one, I put it out called Sadaqah for You. They're pretty good. I've used them. It's a Muslim sister, and she basically, whenever I want to do my Zakato fitr, you text them and they give you some money. And I've done it every year. I've taken my son, we're going and we feed the people. But what I'm saying to you is this, though. Number one, difference between Muslim, I think, and Christian, I don't know about Judaism, but Jews, but definitely Christian, is Christian most will say have a home base. A lot of Muslims don't. A lot
of Muslims
so they belong to a church. A lot of
Christians would say, "This is my church." Okay. Like you go to Enon, you paying tithes, you paying dues. You might get blood tests. You on this ministry? Yo, you be on this ministry. You on that ministry. You got different.
I don't know anything about you.
Listen. I don't know either. But I used to watch Greenleaf, and it be church be like Greenleaf.
I never watched it.
Like Greenleaf is like how church is, where like they be in their own bubble of their own ecosystem.
We getting our 10%.
Muslims don't have that. I'm just being honest with you. It's probably two, and like I said, I've been on one of the largest boards in the city of Philadelphia, the masjids, for 15 years, and I'm telling you that most masjids don't have an ecosystem. They pray 5 times a day, and they barely own it.
Especially probably somewhere like Philly, like versus a community like.
No, when you go to Burbs, you do.
Yeah, that's
because they're the only one in town.
Right.
So, like for example, I've been to.
But the
suburbs.
The matches in the suburbs pales in comparison to the.
But the part of it too is like the demographic and how part of it is the demographic and how black people see like their duty to the masjid is a little bit different.
Then what?
Like, I mean, just like from the Christian financial support of, like, I got to tithe. I got to get that 10% up.
Yeah, that's the part. But I'm telling you, the biggest issue is most Muslims are transient. Coming up, it was different. Because back, give you a simple example. Back in the day, you probably
I'm not disputing.
It wasn't as many.
No, you probably had 5 masjids.
Right.
So that was your home. So if somebody didn't have food, I bet if you went to say, what's the masjid I don't go to?
Yeah, okay.
So my point is, or I come here, I go here. You ask people now, they don't have, this is my masjid.
Right, we got to talk about, this is what we're going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about
what?
Just the whole, like, transient belonging to masjid, stuff like that.
But niggas got churches. That's their church.
No, listen.
Yeah, you're right.
Muslims,
I never thought about that.
This day and age is hard. I'm telling you, as a board member, it's hard.
But even when I was like in the masjid heavy, I went to masjid probably more than anywhere else, but I still floated all the time.
No, but back in the day when we was coming up, I'm telling you, that was your masjid.
But you got to understand, so he got something a little bit different too, because a lot of what I see is family connections to masjid too.
Agreed too, yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of the masjids are based around a couple families.
Yeah.
So if you're a part of that family, like you definitely, that's your masjid.
Right.
Where you got people accepting Islam and they like,
right.
But what I'm saying,
like if you grow up Muslim versus if you convert.
But all I'm saying is Islam, and especially in Philadelphia, is a very transient. They float. They go.
No, I agree.
Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but
when I'm saying
it was more familial too, though.
It was more familiar. I agree, but in the suburbs, it's not as much because you might only have one 30 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the Devon Masjid. If you go into that King of Prussia for like a 30-mile radius, that's the only spot. So you got to go there. Mm-hmm. So then, you might have those services in that.
They built for sustainability in a different way.
Not all the time. That's bullshit.
I've been going back to demographics.
They are. It's like.
So I wasn't in Philadelphia when I became Muslim, and I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was 3 different communities that worked together, in like, I don't know, a 100-mile radius, right? And they were built in a way for sustainability.
How do you mean?
By having structure, having services, having like all of these things, but part of that was because of the demographic.
Mm-hmm.
You say, but that's what. Is it because of the demographic or because of the geographic? Meaning that because they're in a location, there's nowhere else. They're the only game in town,
and
so
plus
therefore
wasn't a lot of like university, like.
I mean, it was like college people, foreigners.
But what I'm asking is it geographic too? Because you said 3 per 100 miles, and 100 miles.
I'm estimating.
But even 50 miles, if it's 3 per 50-mile radius. I can name 20 or 30 in a
this
5 mile
area.
radius or 10 mile radius.
You think it's 30 matches in Philly?
It's 87 matches.
Is it really?
What?
It's at least 80.
That's the same number.
Wait. That's what I'm saying. Like, all right.
I apologize.
We got.
I apologize. Let me clarify. There's about 80. You go Islamic.
It's only 12 to 15 quality matches in the city of Philadelphia.
You can go Islamic Finder right now. You get Islamic Finder right now, about 80. So 80, maybe more than 80. You're right. 87 numbers. Not it was fixed my head, but it's 80 something. But it's a lot.
It's a lot. Is that many?
Oh yeah. And I'm saying
but
a lot
see,
of
I know 2 matches where it's just.
You can only think of 10.
I know 2 of them where it's some boy, his wives, and the kids.
Yeah.
But it's still a match.
I'm just saying.
And that's still like 25.
And people might still be servicing them. That's my point.
All right, we gotta go, man. We gotta wrap up.
All right.
Jordan and niggas, I'm never coming back here.
You definitely coming back.
Never.
You gonna push the button at it, man.
Season 2, I'll be
She don't
back.
know how to use the equipment now.
Push the damn button at it, man.
Yeah. So
Turn
you
it
definitely
off?
coming back. Yeah, you want to stop it?
I want to stop it. Y'all are the worst.
Break their carbs and free souls from their cages. I handmade the parts that they sew into their phrases. You can't pronounce and war, so that shows your limitations. I've traveled from afar, can't go back to where I'm stationed. I don't think about the scars, I just think about the graces. My darkness super heavy, I make supernova praises. If you ain't wrecking with me, nigga, don't come check up on me. You ain't wrecking with me, nigga, why you checking for me? If you ain't wrecking with me, nigga, don't come check up on me. You ain't wrecking with me, nigga, why you checking for me? You ain't wrecking with me, nigga, don't come check up on me. If you ain't wrecking with me, nigga, why you checking on me? If you ain't wrecking with me, nigga, don't come check up on me.